안녕하세요. 2022 온라인 청소년 평화통일 아이디어 발표대회 사회를 맡은 민주평통 샌프란시스코 협의회 간사 구은희입니다. Hello, I'm Eunhee Gu, the Secretary General of NUSSF, and I will be an MC for today's event. 오늘 이 대회는 미주 전 진역의 학생들이 한자리에 모여 한반도의 평화 통일에 대한 자신들의 생각을 발표할 수 있도록 마련하였습니다. This competition has been planned to make students in America get together to present their own ideas on the peace and unification of the Korean Peninsula. 또한 본 행사는 참가 학생들의 학부모님들을 위해서 유튜브를 통하여 동시에 스트리밍되고 있으니 많은 시청 바라겠습니다. Also, this event is on live streaming to present to the parents of participants on YouTube channel. 그럼 지금으로부터 2021 온라인 청소년 평화통일 아이디어 발표대회 개회식을 시작하도록 하겠습니다. Now we will start the opening ceremony of the 2021 Online Youth Idea Presentation Competition on the peace and unification of the Korean Peninsula. 먼저 국민의례가 있겠습니다. 국민의례는 모두 일어서서 해야 하는 것이 맞겠습니다만 현장에 계신 분들만 일어서서 하고 온라인으로 참여하시는 분들은 착석하신 상태로 참여하셔도 되겠습니다. First of all, there will be a national right. People at the site should stand up for national right, but people online stay sitting. 국회에 대하여 경례.
나는 자랑스러운 태극기 앞에 자유롭고 정의로운 대한민국의 무궁한 영광을 위하여 충성을 다할 것을 굳게 다짐합니다.
다음은 애국가 1절을 제창하겠습니다. Next, we will sing Korean anthem. 이어서 순국선열과 호국영령에 대한 묵념을 올리겠습니다. Next, we will have a silent moment for the fallen heroes. 일동 묵념. 바로 다음은 민주평통 샌프란시스코 협의회 최성우 회장님의 환영사가 있겠습니다. Next, Mr. John 성우 최, the President of NUSF, will make a welcoming remarks.
미주 지역 청소년 여러분들, 그리고 이 자리에 참여하신 자문위원님들, 학부모님들, 안녕하십니까? 샌프란시스코 협의회장 최성우 인사드립니다. 우선 온라인 청소년 평화통일 아이디어 발표 결선대회에 오신 여러분 모두를 환영합니다. 그리고 여기 있는 학생들은 이미 예선을 통과하고 본선에 진출한 우수 학생들입니다. 축하드립니다. 미주에 사는 청소년 여러분들이 미국에서 태어난 미국 시민권자이든 혹은 영주권자이든 여러분들은 자랑스러운 대한민국의 후손으로서 미래 통일시대의 한반도를 이끌어갈 주역들입니다. 한반도의 평화통일에 대한 관심을 높이고 긍정적인 인식 확산과 평화통일 시대의 리더로서 역량을 심어주기 위해 이 행사를 준비했습니다. 여러분 부모님의 나라이자 모국인 한반도의 평화통일에 대한 주제로 여러분들의 아이디어를 나눠보는 그런 시간입니다. 그리고 우승보다는 참가 정신에, 성공보다는 노력하는 과정에 중요한 가치를 두는 올림픽 정신처럼 미주 전역에서 참가한 청소년들이 다양한 생각을 나누면서 서로에게 배우는 그런 축제의 장이 되기를 희망합니다. 특별히 오늘 행사를 위해 지원을 아끼지 않으신 백이찬 사무처장님과 노덕환 미주 부의장님 그리고 사무처 스태프 여러분들께 진심으로 감사를 드립니다. 아울러 수고하신 샌프란시스코 협의회 임원 여러분들에게도 감사드립니다. 앞으로도 민주평통 샌프란시스코 협의회는 한반도의 평화 통일 번영을 위해서 그리고 한반도의 공전이 선언되어 영원히 전쟁 공포 없는 한반도가 될 때까지 또한 통일시대의 주역이 될 청소년 여러분들의 육성을 위해서 더욱 노력할 것을 다짐합니다. 오늘 함께 하신 여러분들 모두의 행운을 기원하겠습니다. I would like to say a few more words to top finalists. First of all, welcome to online youth idea presentation competition on peace and unification of Korean Peninsula. We have prepared this event to raise interest and to spread positive awareness in peaceful unification on Korean Peninsula. Let's share your idea on the theme of peaceful unification on Korea in your parents' country and in your homeland. I hope today's event will be a place where youth from all over the Americas can learn from each other by sharing their thoughts, such as the Olympic spirit that values the participation rather than victory, and the process of trying rather than succeeding. Special thanks to Peggy Chan, the Secretary General, and all staff members, and Dodo Kwan, Vice Chairperson at NUAC American Assembly, for their support for today's event. The NUAC San Francisco chapter will make further efforts to promote the peaceful and unified prosperity of the Korean Peninsula until the official war is declared over Korea and becomes a forever war-free country, and to nurture the youth who will play a key role in the unification era. I wish you all the best of luck today. Thank you.
네, 최성우 회장님 감사합니다. 땡큐 미스터 최. 다음은 본국 민주평통 사무처의 백이찬 사무처장님의 축사가 있겠습니다. 축사는 영상으로 만나보시겠습니다.
온라인 청소년 평화통일 아이디어 발표대회에 참여한 청소년 여러분, 그리고 자문위원 여러분, 반갑습니다. 민주평화통일자문회의 사무처장 백이찬입니다. 먼저 대회를 준비해 주신 최성우 샌프란시스코 협의회 회장님과 자문위원 여러분들의 노고에 감사드립니다. 무엇보다 오늘 행사의 주인공인 청소년 여러분 고맙습니다. 여러분은 세계와 함께하며 평화로운 한반도를 만들어 나갈 주역입니다. 한반도 밖에서 한반도를 고민하며 함께하는 힘을 만들고 있는 청소년 여러분이 있어서 정말 든든합니다. 이번 대회는 미주 지역의 청소년들이 한반도의 평화 통일에 대한 정책 아이디어를 발표하는 자리입니다. 여러분이 어떤 반짝이는 아이디어를 제시할지 매우 궁금합니다. 대회를 준비하며 공부하고 상상하는 과정을 통해 여러분의 평화 통일 역량은 이미 한층 더 자랐을 것입니다. 참여한 모두가 우승자이고 평화를 만들어갈 피스메이커입니다. 대회라고 긴장하지 말고 여러분이 만든 평화 통일 아이디어를 친구들과 나누는 자리라고 생각하면서 즐겁게 함께 했으면 좋겠습니다. 민주평화통일자문회의는 평화통일에 대한 해외 청소년들의 관심을 높이기 위해 청소년 평화통일 골든벨, 그림 공모전 다양한 활동을 해왔습니다. 이번에 샌프란시스코 협의회가 준비한 대회도 좋은 모범이 될 것이라고 봅니다. 앞으로 지속해서 청소년들에게 기회의 장을 열어주려고 합니다. 세계 곳곳에서 자라나는 청소년들이 평화 통일을 여는 글로벌 리더로 성장할 수 있도록 사무처도 함께 노력하겠습니다. 여러분 모두에게 응원의 박수를 보냅니다. 감사합니다.
네, 백이찬 사무처장님 고맙습니다. 네, 사무처장님의 축사처럼 저도 참가한 학생들의 참신한 아이디어를 기대해 봅니다. Thank you, Mr. Bae. I also look forward to participants' fresh ideas. 그럼 이제 오늘 학생들의 발표를 심사해 주실 심사위원분들을 소개해 드리도록 하겠습니다. Next, I will introduce the judges of today's competition. 네, 첫 번째로 몬트레이 미 국방언어대학의 임병준 교수님을 소개해 드립니다. First, I introduce Dr. 병준 Lim, Professor of the Defensive Language Institute in Monterey, California. Will introduce is Dr. Sang-yeol Jung, Professor of the South Minnesota State University. Next, let me introduce Dr. Moon Han, Professor of LaSalle University and North Shore Community College in Boston.
안녕하세요. 캘리포니아 세크라멘토에서 폴섬 하이스쿨에 다니고 있는 안예린입니다. 제가 발표할 주제는 평화로운 한반도를 만들기 위한 나의 아이디어입니다. 우리의 소원은 통일. 이 노래 혹시 아시나요? 우리는 아쉽게도 전쟁이 끝난 나라에 살고 있지 않습니다. 우리는 당장이라도 언제든 다시 전쟁이 일어날 수 있는 휴전 상태에 살고 있습니다. 전쟁이 끝난 지 68년이 되었지만 휴전 상태에 있는 우리나라는 남북 간의 불필요한 군사적 대립과 긴장으로 안보 불안과 전쟁 공포에서 벗어날 수 없기 때문입니다. 어머니가 아들을 보고 싶어도 볼 수 없는 곳, 딸이 아버지가 보고 싶어도 만날 수 없는 이것은 비정상입니다. 우리의 소원은 평화입니다. 통일을 얘기하지 않는 게 아니라 평화라는 단계부터 빨리 만들어내고 그 평화를 정착시켜 나가야만 통일로 갈 수 있다고 생각합니다. 통일이라는 아주 좋고 훌륭한 가치와 목표 과정에서 우리가 어떻게 하면 평화라는 단계부터 확보할 수 있을까? 평화로운 한반도를 만들기 위한 나 아이디어. 그 첫 번째로 평화 통일의 소명을 담은 달력 만들기입니다. 우리가 매일 보는 달력에 북한의 문화를 소개하는 것입니다. 예를 들면 우리와 다르게 쓰이고 있는 북한말을 알려주고 북한의 학생들 문화라든지 북한의 의료보험 또는 타가소 소개 등 북한에 대해서 자세히 알 수 있는 자료를 매달 주제를 정해서 알려주는 것입니다. 두 번째로 교육기관에서 남북한 청소년 사이의 우정의 다리를 연결해 주는 것입니다. 줌 미팅으로 한국에 있는 학생들과 북한에 있는 학생들의 영상 미팅하기, 서로의 문화적 다름에 대한 이해하기, SNS를 통해 각 나라의 한국 학생들과 정보 주고받으며 소통하기. 세 번째는 학교에서 인터내셔널 데이의 한반도 부스 만들기입니다. 여기 그림에서 보시는 것처럼 저는 실제로 매년 인터내셔널 데이의 한반도 부스를 만들어 우리나라의 자랑스러운 전통 문화와 음식 등을 외국인 친구들이 직접 체험해 볼 수 있는 기회를 만들었는데요. 특히 잡채와 제기차기가 인기가 좋았습니다. 미국 선생님들과 친구들의 반응이 굉장히 좋았고 제일 인기 있는 곳이 되었습니다. 특히 저는 학교에서 시상식이 있을 때마다 지금 제가 입고 있는 한복을 입고 단상에 올랐었는데요. 우리나라의 아름다운 한복을 자연스럽게 소개할 수 있는 좋은 기회였습니다. 네 번째는 우리 모두가 평화 통일을 소망하는 한마음으로 평화의 나무 심기입니다. 매년 나무 또는 화분을 심을 때마다 왜 우리에게 꼭 평화 통일이 이루어져야 하는지를 되새기며 국민 인식 확산을 위한 교육과 체험 활동들이 많이 늘어났으면 좋겠습니다. 다섯 번째로 우리 각 개개인이 공공외교 사절단으로서 생활 속에서 실천하기입니다. 우리의 적극적인 공공외교가 평화로운 한반도를 만들기에 꼭 필요하다고 생각합니다. 예를 들면 지금 최정상에 있는 한류 문화 속 흐름을 타고 각 학교에서 한국 노래를 체험할 수 있는 댄스클럽 만들기도 좋은 예입니다. 여섯 번째는 우리나라의 자랑스러운 한글 가르치기입니다. 한류 문화를 통해 한국어에 관심을 가지는 미국인 선생님들과 친구들이 늘어나는 것을 직접 보고 경험했습니다. 심지어 저희 한인교회에는 한국어를 배우고 싶어하는 외국인 학생들이 예배에 참여할 정도입니다. 한국 학교에서 한글 가르치기 봉사 등을 통해 공공외교에 직접적으로 참여할 수 있습니다. 마지막 일곱 번째로 인터넷 사이트 만들기입니다. 작년부터 온 세상은 코로나 바이러스에 의해 본사를 앓고 있습니다. 그러나 우리의 K-방역 자랑스럽지 않습니까? 생각보다 많은 나라가 우리의 진단키트와 마스크를 쓰고 있는 걸로 알고 있습니다. 저는 이번 코로나 사태에 인터넷 사이트를 만들어서 마스크를 필요한 곳에 도네이션 할 수 있는 사이트를 만들어 운영하고 있습니다. 또한 저뿐만 아니라 학교 클럽 친구들과 연계하여 핸드메이드 마스크와 이어세이브를 만들어 KF94 마스크와 함께 병원에 기증해오고 있습니다. 더 나아가서 북한 친구들에게도 우리가 만든 마스크를 보내주었으면 좋겠습니다. 우리에겐 아직 풀지 못한 풀어야 할 숙제가 있습니다. 이 한반도의 이 평화체제를 어떻게 유지하는가의 여부가 전 세계인의 관심이 되었습니다. 더 큰 대한민국, 다가올 평화의 중심이 저와 여러분이 되었으면 좋겠습니다. 그런 의미에서 큰 소리로 한번 외쳐보면 좋겠습니다. 통일! 조국! 만세! 감사합니다.
안녕하세요. 한반도의 평화 통일을 위한 발표회를 시작하겠습니다. Peace Between Divided Land by Angeline Choi. Today, North and South Korea are technically two countries at war with minimal official communication between them. One of the biggest reasons for this can be because of the government systems. The government system in North Korea takes away a majority of the citizens' basic rights, such as freedom of expression, religion, assembly, and so on. Therefore, the only way for there to be a peaceful coexisting relationship between the two countries is for North Korea's government to change within, not by an outside force, and for US and South Korea to help North Korea become more advanced in technology. Therefore, my idea is to offer economic assistance in exchange for North Korea's participation in individual sponsorship programs, such as a study abroad program or a labor exchange opportunity and the meeting of separated families. Due to floods, COVID-19 pandemic, and summer storms, North Korea is facing a food shortage of about 86,000 tons in 2021. As you can see in the before pictures, the fields have plenty of harvest. However, in the after pictures, there is empty dry land everywhere and the water is muddy with very little harvest. North Korea's trade with Beijing is also slowly coming to a stop as Pyongyang closed their borders to prevent the spread of COVID-19 last January. Beijing is technically North Korea's economic lifeline, so maintaining trade with Beijing is extremely crucial. Pyongyang's closed borders are causing international employees to leave their country, and it also prevents a lot of resources from coming into the country. So, my first condition is exchange programs. 학생 간 노동자의 교환 정책. South Korea and the United States can offer assistance by providing food and economic support to North Korea. In exchange, North Korea will be required to permit average citizens to come to South Korea and the United States to either study or work. I'd like to emphasize on average, because there are already a few North Korean citizens who are participating in these type of exchange programs, but those citizens are mainly from very powerful and wealthy families, so they do not have many complaints regarding the government system, and they have almost zero wishes to change it. So, selected North Korean students and workers will learn how South Korea and America functions, such as in their government, daily lifestyles, etc. Through these exchange programs, the youth of North Korea can naturally start to learn about how the democratic government works, and they can feel the need to change their own government. By educating young North Koreans, future leaders are being built who believe in the democratic government system. Upon completion of these exchange programs, the participants will then return back to North Korea with useful skills and knowledge. Then these participants will settle back to life in North Korea, and they will slowly start to share their experience with others in their respective places in society, such as a government job or a tech job. This will then in turn increase the number of people who are more open-minded about South Korea and the United States. North Korea's overall gross domestic product growth is very low compared to other countries, and it is especially low in areas that require up-to-date technology such as mining and manufacturing, as shown in this graph. By educating their youth in these fields, we can introduce new technology into North Korea, and we can also raise their GDP in multiple areas. Mining can be improved with better machinery. Second condition would be more visits to the DMZ. 공동경비구역에서의 만남. Another condition for the economic aid to North Korea would be to allow its citizens to travel to the DMZ to meet their relatives from the South. These interactions can eventually help break down the cultural barrier among thousands of separated families. More importantly, friends and neighbors, immediate spheres of influences of these family members will learn about the life in South Korea. Many people in North Korea live peacefully, oblivious to what life is like outside of the isolated country due to the heavy censorship and strict rule. Through these exchange programs and family meetings, many North Koreans will have the opportunity to experience personal interaction with the outside world and its ideas. Eventually, democratic ideas can spread throughout North Korea as more people will want to change their life and way of living. When a large number of people in the North begin to realize better alternatives, they should be able to influence their own government to consider and pursue peaceful politics. As the government begins to change, the relationships between South and North Korea will ultimately improve and strengthen. Once peace is achieved, many cultural traditions can be shared, and so can entertainment such as Korean pop and Korean drama. Yay! Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Hello, my name is Joseph Choi, and I am going to present my idea on how to unify the Korean Peninsula and why it is important. The current situation. Currently, South Korea is divided between two nations, South and North Korea. Because of the Korean conflict, which ended in a stalemate in 1953, North and South have pursued separate ways of life and governance with a 150-mile-long demilitarized zone separating the two countries. The differences here are stark. First off, South Korea is a highly prosperous capitalistic society that is run by a democratic government with high-tech cities, companies, and technology. The population is 52 million and has a $1.647 trillion GDP. And the GDP per capita, or how much the average citizen has in wealth, is $31,000. Meanwhile, North Korea is a highly authoritarian regime in which there's a single ruler who's not democratically elected to rule the country, Kim Jong-un. The population is around 26 million to 25.67 million to be exact. There has a mere $19 billion GDP, and the GDP per capita, or on the wealth per capita, is around $1,300. North Korea is currently facing humanitarian crisis, along with economic turmoil and there is a lack of food. In addition, freedom of expression, along with other fundamental freedoms, are practically non-existent. North Korea has been testing nuclear weapons and has been destabilizing not only the Korean Peninsula, but also the whole world. As a result of all these, the peaceful idea of coexistence or reunification of two nations into one remains extremely important and necessary. So you may ask, what are the benefits of reunification? Well, the benefits of reunification are quite there are a lot of benefits, and it is quite big benefits. Number one, there's an economic growth for the combined country. The combined GDP in approximately 30 to 40 years could have the possibility of overtaking countries such as France, Germany, and even Japan. Number two, a better quality of life for the citizens. Number three, the reunification of many lost families over the years. Number four, a more orderly and peaceful age in the world. Number five, denuclearization. So here comes the daunting task and challenge of how to reunify Korea. Reunifying Korea can be daunting and pretty difficult, or else it would have already been accomplished by now. However, there are many obstacles, yet we must do it. So here's a plan to reunify Korea under a single country and under a single government. Number one, move Kim Jong-un along with his family and his trusted advisors and whoever he wants out of power by giving him a full pardon and offering land rights to the parts of the north in order to make money. We are not rewarding him merely. This is the only way to get him out of power peacefully. Number two, after he is out of power, start to integrate all of the government systems together. Number three, democratically elect a president and hold a nationwide election. Number four, entice companies that are in the South and in other nations to come up and head up to the North by offering things such as tax breaks and other incentives. Number five, build a complete transportation system that will connect both countries. Number six, provide immediate humanitarian aid to North Koreans in order to help them. Number seven, set up a complete reunification process in order to help those families who have been lost and separated to finally meet each other and come back. Number eight, open up and make the United Nations, UN, along with other nations to acknowledge the new single country. And number nine, open up trade to other countries for economic prosperity. A unified Korea is a must. Through the plan provided, reuniting families, the well-being of the Korean people, economic growth, a safer Asian world, and so many other benefits are possible. Let's reunify Korea and have a safer and better world for all of us. Thank you, and have a good day.
안녕하세요, 강한나입니다. Hello, my name is Catherine Kang, and I am a high school student in Seattle, Washington. These are some of my friends. Hello Kitty, who I love, is wearing a hanbok just like me, and we both love to promote Korea while wearing our traditional dresses. Sunny and Yunny were given to me by a Korean student who I hosted through the YMCA Global Exchange Program. They are the mascots for the 2012 Yeosu Korea Expo. As a team, they work together to spread knowledge about Korea while they promote peace and unity. Hoi and Kashimi are my newest friends who I received during the pandemic, and they proudly fly the Korean flag showing the country as one. Lastly, Suhorang, the Pyeongchang Olympics mascot. That year's games were very special because it was the first time that the athletes from both Koreas marched together at the Parade of Nations under the unification flag. Each of my friends remind me of who I am and reasons why it's important to promote peace and unification. In order to promote peace and unification, I believe we must start with where we are now. And for me, that means connecting with the mainstream culture within the Seattle, Washington area and the United States, to my identity as a Korean American student. I've been sharing my ideas on peace and unification of two Koreas for over 5 years, and I began when I became a junior NUAC National Unification Advisory Council member and won the Golden Bell in the Seattle chapter. Although I was too young to represent Seattle in Korea for the International Golden Bell, I became more interested in and educated on the issues related to what's happening on the Korean Peninsula and conversations of what changes can be done. Through NUOC, I am able to learn about the history of my ancestors and of Korea that unfortunately are missing in the American textbooks. Being born and raised in Seattle and my parents immigrating to the United States before entering elementary school, their knowledge is also often limited. Many times I attend special lectures hosted by NUOC with my mom, and we both learn about the significant events in Korea's history together. As I was studying for the Golden Bell and learning more facts about Korea, I became more interested in these issues, including the important role of overseas Koreans who supported the Korean independence movement and the future of unification. At one of the lectures, I learned that the unification is not just a hope or dream, but a close reality. So with that, my role as a Korean American is critical. My proposed idea to make a peaceful Korean peninsula and a better relationship between North Korea, South Korea, and the United States is through civic activism. After attending the Korean American Grassroots Conference in Washington, D.C., and being an active advocate for issues related to peace in the Korean Peninsula, I've seen the strengths of civic activism and how changes are possible with the support of elected officials. As a Korean American youth, too young to vote yet, I've been advocating for issues around peace and unification and met with congressional members to present the Korean American policy priorities in Washington, D.C. for the last 4 summers. Congresswoman Judy Chu and Pramila Jayapal and Washington State Senator Maria Cantwell all gave me the space to meet with them and to share my passion for peace and unification. Most recently, we met with Congressman Adam Smith, the chair of the Armistice, again in our state with the Korean American community. He promised us that he would do his best to maintain peace in the Korean Peninsula. These ongoing relationships are critical in furthering peace and unification efforts. But don't wait till they're in office. Be proactive and canvass and support the candidates who are our allies. I was honored to work on Marilyn Strickland's campaign by phone banking weekly and even appearing in her media campaign to demonstrate her commitment to education. I was so proud of the moment when she was sworn in her beautiful hanbok. My dream is for people to be educated on the topic of Korean reunification and take action for our hope for peace and unification. Whether it be spreading information on the subject or stepping into elected positions of power, or even just voting for candidates who will make a change, it is possible to achieve our dream of peace and unification when every Korean descendant votes for elected leaders who support our hope and dream of peace and unification in our local and regional elections. In the United States, voting for politicians to help make change on the floor will guide communication between the US and the 2 Koreas. Communication is vital to creating change and for making differences. These politicians will act as our liaisons. From there, it is our job to continue advocating for reunification and peace along the border. With friends like Hoi and Kashimi, we can begin conversations with strangers who can then be educated on the topic. I remember going downtown to Seattle's famous Pike Place Market and multiple people asking me who the tiger was, and I was proud to share the message and significance behind the pink tiger promoting peace and the bird spreading good news of unification. In conclusion, I will reiterate the importance of Korean diaspora participation in civic activism to influence other people in our current country to unite with us to fight for democracy for all through peace and unity. By voting, we can use our political voices to elect allies who will support our hope for peace and unification. Even though I'm still too young to vote, I can help to register voters and educate people on why it's important to vote and to engage with elected officials to promote peace and unification. Thank you for listening, and now go educate 3 friends about issues around peace and unification. If you're able to vote, please register to vote during your next local, regional, and national elections. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brandon Lee, and today I've been given the opportunity to discuss with you my opinions on the invention of a peaceful Korean peninsula. What we discuss in regards to Korean Peninsula peace must remember the pain and suffering this division has caused. A whole generation of Koreans, our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents experienced this pain. With that said, the main point for peace encompasses a new American approach. Current U.S. policy towards North Korea is outdated and insolvent. Therefore, we must devise a new American approach. South Korean government officials once estimated that North Korea may have up to 60 nuclear warheads, despite constant watchdogging and decades of sanctions. The inveterate American policy on North Korea is part of the problem. Known as strategic patience, the United States Institute of Peace says that, according this strategy has focused on achieving a strategic decision from Pyongyang to negotiate an end to its nuclear weapons program and on securing Beijing's cooperation to build the necessary economic leverage. Now, strategic patience makes false assumptions for Chinese cooperation, while also ignoring the foundational North Korean principles of Chuche and Sungun. In other words, The plan is dependent upon failing premises. There's no wonder why we've been unable to forge permanent diplomatic ties with North Korea. So, what do we do? According to the USIP, given the increasing risks posed by North Korea's growing nuclear and missile capabilities, it is now past time to accept the lesser risks of a new strategy based on more realistic assumptions. The Biden administration's North Korea strategy must be designed to deal with a resolutely armed North Korea and an uncooperative China. And I agree with USIP. In order to realize this revolutionary standpoint, the United States is obligated to take revolutionary steps. These include the exacerbation of defense measures, the recognition of North Korea as a nuclear power, and the easing of international sanctions. Now, the exacerbation of defense measures is foundational in regards to peninsula peace. Rather than rely on the good graces of North Korea, America and its allies should be more than ready to defend from the much more realistic threat of North Korean missile aggression. It is especially important that we maintain American military presence in Korea, and it will be extremely beneficial if we could rebuild the Pacific Entente between the US, South Korea, and Japan. Realistic diplomacy will go a long way for peace. We're dealing with a very real North Korean regime whose main goal is safety, and the United States is a threat to its existence. We must tread lightly, but tread in reality, and that starts with recognizing North Korea as a nuclear power. The United States should act on its own accord and decrease sanctions against North Korea. It should also work with China and Russia to convince the United Nations to follow suit. Now, it may seem like a concession, but really, it is a bargaining chip used by the rest of the world to show the North Korean government the power of international cooperation. All that is in the name of a peaceful peninsula. Now, we must understand that the steps America should take in its new approach do not ensure a better relationship with the DPRK. So there are three ways which we can address this. The first is humanitarian effort. As stated by Kim Jong-un in April, North Korea is suffering from the consequences of a failing economy, with a food situation as dire as the 1990s famine. America can provide things like food, modern farming equipment, and opportunities for American investment into North Korea. It should be remembered that humanitarian aid cannot be used as a political bargaining chip. America can no longer afford to be North Korea's #1 enemy. It is in the world's best interest to work out some sort of American-Korean military non-aggression pact. Imagine something like a modern Gorbachev-Reagan INF. Any discussion of Asian geopolitics would be incomplete without the consideration of Chinese policy. While we should try to form a better Chinese-American relationship, we should also do our best to abate possible damages. We might do this by taking several steps. First, we must maintain a strong American presence in the Asia-Pacific. This means not taking any concessions in regards to Taiwan, for example. Economically, the American government should prepare itself for greater competition from an ever-growing China, and it should also try to negotiate a USMCA-like trade agreement to ensure a stable trade relations with the country. So, what's the point? Why should we take all these steps toward peninsula peace? Through the reunification of Korea, we can reunite families. We can stabilize a volatile, possibly dangerous country. We can set the precedent for peacemaking for any geopolitical tensions in any setting, no matter the stakes. But most importantly, we can resolve and heal the tensions and damages between a decades-old conflict. In a world where such conflict is commonplace and inevitable, any chance we have at healing this rare, beautiful phenomena must be taken. Thank you.
안녕하세요. 저는 간 하이스쿨의 9학년이 될 이정민입니다. 제가 오늘 발표하는 내용의 제목은 민족 간의 화합과 교류를 통한 평화적 통일 방안입니다.
Hello, my name is Baek Young-ju and I'll be presenting 나의 통일 구상 regarding my idea to make a peaceful Korean peninsula. My slides consisted of the following, but due to the time restriction of 5 minutes, I will spend the majority of my time presenting my idea. During my research, I deducted that the reason why the Korean peninsula couldn't achieve peace all came down to the flawed algorithm behind it. As this slide depicts, I was able to further categorize the issues with the algorithm into 5 parts. 북핵 문제, 남북 간 이념 대립, 국내 갈등, 진영 간 패권 다툼, and 주변국 이해관계. My idea can be broken down into 4 parts. 1. Enforce a 5-step action plan led by the South Korean government. First, prepare for the unification. Second, conduct a vote to obtain agreement for unification. Third, pledge to the global audience that the government will prioritize the unification of the Korean Peninsula. Fourth, organize a conference council between South and North Korea. Fifth, achieve unification and continuously improve the unified Korea. 2. Organize a conference council led by civilians. Citizens will organize a board of advisors built up of professionals and experts and create a joint committee with the government. Communities or corporations will also financially support the unification. 3. Create joint projects driven by South and North Korea. 4. Active participation of all citizens. They will supply feedback or ideas, and there will be no exemption for Koreans living in foreign countries. We will also increase opportunities for exchanges with North Korean civilians. My idea is different from those of the past because it prioritizes the North Koreans. It aims to provide them with direct benefits to help them realize that unification is a good idea. We will also solidify 3-party talks between South and North Korea and the United States, in place of the 6-party ones, and organize a unification preparatory council as the primary department of the government. The key to my new vision is active participation of all Korean companies and associations. The government must also trust its people's capabilities to work together in finding the ideal solution. I plan to create a cyber unified Korea, possibly even before the true unification. In relation to joint projects driven by South and North Korea, and in order to increase job opportunities and household incomes for North Koreans, we will implement improvements surrounding the 38th parallel by opening it at 2 places, Paju and Cheolwon. Civilians will be able to pass along these openings with ease by continuing past efforts to connect roads and railroads. Similarly, my idea consists of improving some areas in the demilitarized zone, commonly known as the DMZ. We will re-identify the DMZ as a national park, appreciating it for its natural, non-polluted nature, and for being home to some of Korea's most endangered plants and animals. We will also develop tourist attractions. These will consist of a center dedicated to the commemoration of the unification, along with education centers explaining the history of when the 2 countries were divided. Active participation of all citizens inside and outside of Korea is necessary. Koreans living abroad, such as I, play an important role in the path towards unification. We need to consistently participate and possess interest in it. The government must also increase opportunities for citizens to engage in exchanges with North Korean civilians. For example, students can make friends while families enjoy small gatherings. During my Korean honors class in school, I learned that our future is bright and that Korea has gained the attention of global leaders and organizations. In fact, Goldman Sachs states that Korea's GDP would outcompete that of Japan and Germany's, becoming the 2nd in the world following the USA. The destiny of our country is now in our hands. With this hopeful message, I will finish my presentation with a short epilogue. 영원한 나의 조국 대한민국. 한반도의 영원한 평화를 정착시키기 위한 가장 확실한 길. 대한민국의 평화통일. 청소년 평화통일 아이디어 발표대회를 준비하며 상상만으로도 벅차오르는 감정을 여러 차례 느꼈습니다. 지금은 나의 아이디어를 통해 경험하는 통일의 과정이 실제로는 우리에게 훨씬 더 어렵고 복잡한 과정과 오랜 시간을 필요로 할 줄로 압니다. 하지만 앞에서 이미 밝힌 바 있듯 이제 대한민국의 평화 통일은 단순한 바램이 아닌 시대가 우리 세대에게 요구하는 피할 수 없는 사명이 되어 우리 곁에 다가와 있다고 믿습니다. 내가 대회를 준비하며 여러 차례 느낀 그 벅차 올랐던 감정을 나의 발표를 보는 여러분 모두가 함께 느끼는 기회가 되었기를 간절히 바라봅니다.
안녕하세요. 저는 박준우입니다. 지금부터 스포츠를 통한 평화로운 한반도라는 주제로 발표를 시작하겠습니다. 이번 프레젠테이션에서는 스포츠가 한반도 평화 통일에 어떻게 기여할 수 있는지, 어떻게 스포츠를 활용할 수 있는가를 분석한 이후 결론에 도달하겠습니다. 먼저 스포츠의 중요성입니다. 스포츠만큼 이념 또는 정치와 상관없이 통합할 수 있는 콘텐츠는 없다고 생각합니다. 예를 들어 대한민국과 북한 모두 국제축구연맹인 FIFA에 가입했습니다. 올림픽이 평화의 상징이라고 불리는 것 또한 이를 증명합니다. 지난해 유엔이 스포츠를 활용해 평화를 점포하는 정책 개발을 하기도 하였습니다. 또한 두 나라 모두 축구, 농구, 배구, 탁구, 씨름 등을 비롯한 스포츠 종목이 인기라는 점 또한 스포츠의 중요성과 활용 방안을 보여줍니다. 스포츠에는 언어의 장벽, 나이의 장벽 없이 어린이부터 남녀노소 누구나 즐기며 한마음으로 보거나 혹은 직접 참가할 수도 있습니다. 분단이 된 이후 70년이 되어 우리의 한국어조차도 조금씩 다르게 사용되지만 스포츠에서만큼은 우리 모두 하나, 원팀이 될 수 있습니다. 스포츠의 첫 번째 활용 방안은 바로 통일 스포츠 리그입니다. 축구를 예시로 하자면 통일 축구 리그의 구성입니다. 우리의 K리그와 북한의 일부류 축구 연맹전을 통합하여 하나의 슈퍼리그를 출범하는 것입니다. 운영 방식은 미국과 캐나다의 통합 축구 리그인 MLS와 비슷한 방식으로 진행합니다. MLS는 축구 불모지인 미국과 캐나다에서 전 세계 10위에 드는 리그로 성장한 만큼 남북한 통일 리그 또한 세계적으로 성장할 수 있을 것입니다. 또한 원정 경기에 팬 참여를 적극적으로 허용하여 양국의 화합을 도모할 것입니다. 미국과 캐나다 축구 팬들이 원정 경기에 응원을 가며 경계선을 허무는 것처럼 통일 축구 리그도 우리 마음속과 38선의 경계선을 허무는 첫 걸음이 될 것입니다. 두 번째 방안인 민족 명절 스포츠 대회입니다. 우리는 민족 명절인 설이나 추석에 온 가족이 함께 앉아 씨름 경기를 관람하던 기억이 있을 것입니다. 씨름은 우리뿐만 아니라 북한에서도 인기 스포츠라고 합니다. 이에 따라 한국과 북한의 최고 씨름 선수를 겨루는 예선을 치른 뒤 설이나 추석 당일에 각국의 대표가 치르는 결승을 치른다면 남북한 사람들이 함께할 수 있는 대규모 이벤트가 될 것입니다. 위에 보이는 단원 김홍도의 씨름도처럼 우리 민족과 함께해온 남북한 통일 씨름대회는 즐거움과 자긍심 모두 성취할 수 있는 좋은 이벤트일 것입니다. 마지막으로 남북 단일팀입니다. 이미 여러 번 시행한 적이 있으며 2018년 자카르타 팔렘방 아시안게임에서 여자농구 카누 등에서 메달을 획득, 지난 코리아 오픈 탁구에서 장우진, 차효심의 단일팀 혼합 복식조가 우승 등을 하며 성공 가능성을 입증했습니다. 실제로 팍스 스포츠에서 남북 단일 축구팀은 세계 최고의 축구팀으로 발전할 수 있다고 말하기도 했습니다. 남북 단일팀으로 평화 도모와 국제 무대에서의 경쟁력을 확보할 수 있는 일석이조의 기회입니다. 또한 남북한 국민들이 함께 하나의 목표를 가지고 응원하면서 유대감을 가지며 우리 마음속 벽을 허물 수도 있습니다. 2002년 월드컵 우리 국민들이 하나가 되어 응원을 한 것처럼 남북 단일팀을 응원하며 남북한이 하나 되어 평화를 향해 다가갈 수 있을 것입니다. 결론은 다음과 같습니다. 스포츠는 남북한이 서로를 이해하며 알아갈 수 있는 기회를 만들어줍니다. 그간 월드컵이나 올림픽 때 다 같이 광장으로 나가 응원하듯이 이제는 남북한 국민들이 다 함께 팀 코리아를 응원할 수 있습니다. 이렇게 친밀해진 관계를 이용해 관계를 개선할 경우 더욱 평화로운 한반도로 발전해 나갈 수 있을 것입니다. 지금껏 존재하던 마음속 벽을 허물며 하나의 팀이 되는 것입니다. 즉, 스포츠를 통한 문화 교류는 남북한 평화 통일의 기반이 될 수 있습니다. 이상입니다. 감사합니다.
Hello, my name is Michelle Park, and today I would like to share my idea of creating a more peaceful Korean peninsula. Before I introduce my idea, I would like to provide some information about the division of the Korean peninsula. In 1910, Japan colonized Korea. This lasted until 1945 when Japan finally surrendered. Following this, the US occupied the south side of Korea and the Soviet Union occupied the north. This division was supposed to last only 5 years. However, in 1950, North Korea invaded the south with help from the Soviet Union. This was the start of the Korean War. This war lasted 3 years and ended with the death of 2.5 million people. Yet the division persisted and came to be known as the 38th Parallel North. So why is the reunification of the Korean peninsula so important? The 5 reasons I think it is crucial to have a peaceful Korean peninsula is: number 1, to avoid going into war; number 2, create a safer environment for future generations to live in; number 3, create a more peaceful and harmonious world; number 4, because Korea was originally one country; and number 5, because there are so many separated families that have been unable to see each other for the past 68 years. My idea starts with the younger generation. I believe that it would be effective to focus on the youth, as they are the future of our world and hold a lot of potential. There are so many students of the younger population who are leading discussions about making change in our world today. To create a more peaceful Korean peninsula, I want to develop a program that brings together the younger generations of South Korea, North Korea, and the United States. The objective of this program is to teach, learn, and better understand diverse cultures through exciting activities. I believe that helping individuals learn about cultural backgrounds in fun and safe environments will help facilitate conversations about reunification. The most unique part of my program will be a musical component called Band-Aid. Students from South Korea, North Korea, and the United States would come together and create musical bands. Using any instrument they prefer, they could produce and perform an original song about unification. I named this component Band-Aid because students would create a band that would aid unification. By doing so, these students will help heal the division that currently exists on the Korean peninsula, just like a Band-Aid is used to patch up wounds and cuts. One reason I want to focus on this musical component is because of the rapid spread of Korean pop and Korean artists. As a Korean American living in the United States, I have been able to witness this growing K-pop community throughout the years. I saw how people of different races, ethnicities, and cultures came together and unified through music. And as Stevie Wonder once said, music is a world within itself, with a language we all understand. I believe that using this language with no barriers is an extremely beneficial way to help the younger generation learn about Korean history and inspire them to continue the discussion of reunification. In addition, the universal language of music has the power to help us look past our differences and work towards creating a more accepting and unified future. So what are some of the benefits of creating a band? First, there are many parts to a band, such as a singer or a lyricist. And although each part is unique, by working together, they can create a harmonious band. Secondly, everyone in a band must work together and become one in order to be successful. This can be accomplished through good communication and being respectful of different opinions. On the road to reunification, my program is just the beginning. There are so many more steps needed to be taken in order to reach the final destination of reunification. And although my idea may not create immediate change, I know that it will provide a way for individuals of all cultures to unite, listen to one another, and raise awareness about the importance of acceptance and reunification. As the world becomes more and more globalized, people refuse to respect opinions that differ from their beliefs, which leads to conflicts and arguments. Through this program, I want to create a safe and fun environment where people can freely share about their opinions and listen to one another. I hope that we can learn to respect and accept our differences. Furthermore, instead of labeling our differences as flaws, we can see them as strengths that allow us to learn about individual perceptions about the world. Thank you so much to those who organized this event. I learned so much about Korean history and the division that exists to this day. I believe this is a great way to start the conversation of reunification. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Daniel Song, and today I'll be sharing my idea on how to make a peaceful Korean peninsula. So first, some background. In 1945, Korea was divided into North and South Korea, and the DMZ, or otherwise known as the Korean Demilitarized Zone, is this 160-mile long and 2.5-mile wide strip of land that serves as the border between North and South Korea. And to this day, troops are still present on both sides of the DMZ, with barbed wires lining both sides of the DMZ and landmines scattered throughout, making the DMZ one of the world's most dangerous strips of land. So my idea is to turn this world's most dangerous place into the happiest place on the earth. The DMZ kind of serves as a daily reminder that the war in Korea still isn't over and that it's still divided. But if North and South Korea can work on this joint project, then it could be a giant step towards unification. The DMZ is a symbol of the war, right? It is impossible to cross, it's dangerous, and it's a border that divides a once unified nation into two. An amusement park, on the other hand, is sort of the opposite. It's a symbol of happiness. It's a land where everyone comes together to have fun and enjoy and have a good time. So creating an amusement park in the DMZ would mean that Korea is ready to put the war in the past and move on into a bright future with peace. So in an area with no Koreans go before, now Koreans from all over the peninsula and even outside of it, from all over the world, would be able to go and gather together and have fun, North and South Koreans alike. This is like a rough poster sketch of the amusement park and some areas it could have. Of course, there's like the main rides and water park in the middle, but it could also have sections such as a history area where there could be a museum where people could learn about Korea, and maybe a theater where they could watch films to learn about the history. There could also be another section focused on the culture of North and South Korea, with restaurants serving traditional food, as well as 3D rides that take you to landmarks in North and South Korea, being some examples. And so in the past, South and North Korea have joined together for a cause several times. And the most notable of these have been in the Olympics, with athletes marching under the same flag at the 2000 Sydney Olympics, 2006 Winter Olympics in Italy, and the most recently being the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, being some examples. And they have also done this in other sporting events, such as the Asian Games. And whenever South and North Korea have joined together, there's been a lot of positive feedback and praise, not just from Korea, but from all over the world. So South and North Korea continue working together, and in this case, work together to create an amusement park in the border where the DMZ currently is. It would be revolutionary and a really big step forward in efforts towards unification. So in conclusion, I acknowledge that it will be an extremely difficult task, and many might consider it not possible currently. But a look at the Berlin Wall and its history might give us some more insight into the situation. So the Berlin Wall was very similar to the DMZ, and it divided a once unified nation, Germany, into two, West and East Germany. And it was as dangerous as the DMZ is. And it was basically considered impossible to cross, and it divided two nations that used to be one. But look what happened to the Berlin Wall. It was taken down, destroyed, and about a year after it was taken down, West and East Germany was unified once again back into Germany. And currently, it serves as a monument and a landmark. And if South and North Korea can work together, then not only can that happen, but they could take it a step further and not just keep the ruins of the DMZ as a landmark, but turn it into something greater. And that was my presentation. Thank you for listening.